Most of the time that I talk to you guys about the ever-growing cyberpunk dystopia in the US and the EU, what I'm really talking about is how technology is being used to violate basic human rights like free speech and privacy. But if we want to see how bad things can really get, we've got to go look at China, where basic human rights have always been optional. So there's these viral videos going around of Chinese public restrooms that have monetized toilet paper dispensers installed in them. So when you use one of these bathrooms and go to get some toilet paper to clean yourself up, there's a QR code on the side of the dispenser that you have to scan, which takes you to a website that tells you to either pay 0.5 Yuan, which is about 7 cents per strip of toilet paper, or you can watch a 30-second video to get your portion of toilet paper for free. So it's a really crappy situation for the users, obviously, but the advertisers love it because they have a captive audience for their ads. You're gonna watch the ad because what else do you have to look at? The tile pattern on the floor or on the side of the wall. And let's be real, for most of the people who are suffering from brain rot, that tile pattern is not going to be entertaining enough. They are going to consume the ad and then probably also consume the product. And there's no way of you really opting out of the monetized toilet paper dispenser, because once you've done the deed, you need to wipe your ass. Like, maybe you could go full Joker mode and just decide you're not going to wipe your ass, but keep in mind you're using a public bathroom, and so not wiping your ass is probably going to throw some major complications into the rest of your day, because maybe you were planning on spending your entire day at the mall with some friends, maybe go eat some greasy food for lunch and get some boba tea, maybe go to one of the clothing stores and buy yourself some new clothes. But now you're sitting here in the bathroom with a dirty butt planning out your villain arc. And God forbid that you're one of these people who's trying to go out into the world without a phone so that you can cure your brain rot. You're trying to go touch some grass and have some social interaction instead of staring at a screen like 99% of today's youth. Well, unfortunately, your radical approach to curing your brain rot is not going to be compatible with having a clean ass in China. Now, maybe you could do the old foot tap thing if you're, without a phone, or maybe you have a phone and it's dead, right? There's all kinds of situations where maybe you're not going to be able to get toilet paper. So you do the old foot tap to ask the person next to you in the stall for some TP. But that's a much bigger ask because now they're going to have to either pay for it or watch a 30-second ad to get that toilet paper for you. And that portion might also not be enough. Maybe you just happen to be the only person in the stall, in the whole bathroom by yourself, and you don't have a phone or your phone is not charged. So how long are you going to sit there in your own filth until you finally get desperate and wipe yourself with a sock? Now, you might be wondering if there's any real justification for China having monetized toilet paper dispensers other than them just further turning themselves into a cyberpunk episode of Black Mirror. But there actually is. There actually is a justification for this. The smart toilet paper dispensers are actually part of the broader social credit system that China has been developing to curtail bad behavior amongst its citizens. So in case you didn't know, several decades ago, China decided to start doing the communism. And in typical fashion, millions of people starved and went without basic necessities for a very long time. And when you spend most of your life, especially in your developmental years, in extreme scarcity, you tend to get that scarcity mentality imprinted on you, and you keep it with you even when you're no longer living in that same scarce situation. Like, to this day, I still have a habit of cutting open tubes of toothpaste and bottles of lotion when I can't squeeze any more out, just to get the last little bit on myself and use it. Like, I also put water in my shampoo bottles and shake it up so that I can use it 2 or 3 more times before I throw the container away. I really don't need to do that anymore. It's just this old habit that I have back when I was broke, and it was a thing I did out of necessity. So, old habits die hard, as they always say. But because older Chinese people faced this level of poverty that you and I have probably never ever dealt with or ever will, they have that same scarcity mentality, but it's dialed up to 11. And you can find plenty of videos online of older people, usually it's older Chinese people, taking massive amounts of toilet paper or paper towels that are in a place for free. I mean, they're literally just rolling it off the roll and stuffing it in their pockets or their purse, and they're doing it so that they can take it home to use it because of the old scarcity mentality. And obviously, just because this toilet paper is free to the public doesn't mean that it doesn't cost anybody money. Somebody's obviously paying for this and, had to come up with a way to curtail this bad behavior. And so the way they've done it is with monetized toilet paper dispensers. But I have a feeling that this system might end up backfiring. And there's a couple of ways I could see it going down. I mean, for one, people might just break into these dispensers and take the entire roll with them. I mean, that's something that even happens here in America, and I don't think we have any monetized dispensers. But China's surveillance state might actually be sophisticated enough to catch most of those would-be toilet paper thieves, and I imagine it's also really bad for your social credit score. They might actually send John Cena to your house to put the Bing Chilling where the sun doesn't shine. And it's also made of metal, like the one that we saw in the video, so, this is probably going to be pretty difficult for people in public bathrooms in China to break into. Most likely, what I think will happen is people are just going to start carrying their own toilet tissues with them. And I think a lot of people in China actually do that already because, well, people have been looting the toilet tissues for so long that the old solution, like what a lot of places do these days in China, is just they don't have any toilet paper there. So you have to bring your own anyway. But these Chinese business owners, they might have to start worrying about plumbing issues because your bathroom patrons, I mean, they could be wiping with anything if they're bringing in their own toilet paper. The 1 atom thick tissue that's usually in public restrooms is pretty good at not clogging pipes, but, the so-called flushable wet wipes that come in convenient portable packages that people are probably going to use are notorious for clogging toilets. I mean, the invention of flushable wipes is probably single-handedly doubled the demand for plumbers in places where they're popular and people are using them. So this solution to toilet paper theft could easily turn into an increased maintenance for public bathrooms everywhere in China that actually decides to implement this. I guess we're just going to have to sit back and see how crappy this experiment really pans out. But if it works well in China, you can bet that other countries are going to do this. And not just in Asia, but in the West. I mean, a lot of public restrooms in Europe, for example, they don't stock toilet paper. So installing monetized toilet paper dispensers might actually be an upgrade so that people in those public restrooms or people using those public restrooms don't have to bring their own. And I could easily see this becoming a subscription-based service too, because I mean, right now you have to watch a 30-second ad or pay 7 cents for a portion of toilet paper. And let's be real, I mean, one portion isn't going to be enough for a lot of people. I mean, based on the looks in this video, the lady that's using the dispenser got about maybe 5 squares of TP. And it looks like kind of decent toilet paper. I mean, it's certainly better than the Planck length stuff that you get at most restrooms. So this might be enough for some people, but only if it's the good kind of toilet paper. And I doubt that a mall restroom is going to be stocked up with Charmin Ultra Strong or something comparable in every stall. This is probably dollar store TP that you're going to want 10 squares for cleanup because you got to triple it over just so that your fingers don't go through when you're wiping. And the biggest problem with this thing that makes it so evil in the first place is the fact that public restroom shits are almost always bad shits. Like, a lot of people don't even want to poop in public restrooms. It's a absolute necessity, and that's why they're going. Like, I was even the same way. I didn't like pooping in public restrooms until I started working retail jobs and I learned about what pooping on the clock was all about. Then I did it all the time, but other than that, no. I mean, you don't want to poop unless it's an emergency in a public restroom, and it's no wonder that public restroom shits are an emergency, because just look at what food is being served nearby. It's either greasy street food, greasy mall food, or you're eating, salmonella chicken wings at a festival where you're paying $20 for 5 of them. I mean, imagine being stuck in a hot Coachella porta potty, waiting 5 minutes, watching 5 minutes of TikTok ads just so that you can wipe your ass decently. The cyberpunk dystopia is probably becoming a worse version of hell than I think any one of us could have ever imagined. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it to hack the algorithm, and check out my online store, based.win, where you can buy my awesome merch or accessories for your phone or laptop. 10% store-wide discount when you pay with Monero XMR at checkout. Have a great rest of your day.